It started like any other shift until the front desk officer looked up and saw her. Pale, disoriented, barefoot. She walked in slowly, like each step hurt her bones. When he asked for her name, she hesitated, like she had to search in a dark place deep inside herself. Then she whispered it, almost apologetically. And that's when the blood drained from his face. That name had been burned into every bulletin board in the station 27 years ago. She vanished without a trace overnight, sparking one of the longest missing person investigations in the state. Case after case, year after year, it went cold. But here she was, same eyes, same face, just older, broken, and something was off. Horrifically off. For over 2 decades, her parents held onto the hope that she was alive. They organized search parties. They hung photos on poles that curled under years of rain. Dead leads. Hopeless silence. Talk of human trafficking. Cult abduction. Foul play. A body never found always invites ghosts. But what happens when the ghost walks right in the front door? She said she'd been somewhere safe. That someone protected her. But when pressed, her language would shift. From clear sentences to erratic tangents. Almost rehearsed. Like she had been told what to say, but didn't quite believe it. Doctors examined her, no scars, physically healthy. But her mind? Fragmented. Some days she'd wake up convinced she was 10 years younger. Other days, she sat with a notebook, scribbling strange symbols no expert could interpret. Not even AI pattern detection could decode them. They weren't words. It was like she was writing in code for someone watching. Then the tapes emerged. Security footage from a gas station 3 states away, dated 10 years ago, showed her pumping gas in the dead of night. Alone. Calm. She looked directly at the camera. Surveillance teams missed it back then. But when analyzed frame by frame, a reflection in the car's side mirror reveals someone seated in the passenger seat. Face turned away. Still. Too still. When the authorities returned to question her, she had a panic attack so violent they had to sedate her. That night, she reportedly said 8 words in her sleep. He said the outside world would forget me. But who is he? And what kind of captivity doesn't use chains? A team of specialists explored the idea that she may have been a victim of psychological imprisonment, indoctrinated, manipulated, isolated for years. Stockholm Syndrome taken to an extreme level. Some suggested she'd been held underground, in one of those self-sustaining compounds you hear whispers about. Run by reclusive millionaires or ex-military groups obsessed with secrecy. Others wondered if she'd wandered into a fringe community, one so psychologically corrosive it erased her sense of time and self. Then came the photographs. Found in an abandoned farmhouse 6 miles south of where she was discovered. Polaroids. Dozens of them. She was in every one. Different hair. Different clothes. In some, she was smiling in front of a fireplace. In others, staring blankly into the camera. But in every photo, written in bold Sharpie along the bottom margin were 3 words: she stays quiet. One image stood out. It showed her standing beside a man whose face was deliberately scratched out. Deep knife grooves over the eyes. But what sent shivers down the spine of every investigator was that pinned behind them was a calendar. The date circled in red? The exact day she reappeared. Someone knew. She claims not to remember taking the photos. But during interviews, when shown the scratched face, her hands shook uncontrollably. She still didn't speak his name. She couldn't. Or wouldn't. Her amnesia is selective, doctors said. Likely trauma-induced. But let's talk about trauma. What kind of trauma keeps someone hidden for 27 years and then releases them? It's as if whatever held her let her go. Not out of mercy, but as a message. And that's the part no one wants to say out loud. Sometimes, a person doesn't go missing. They're made to disappear. Strategically. Methodically. Like someone folding a human life into a black envelope and sealing it shut. She now lives under federal protection. Different name. Different state. The press obeys its boundaries. Mostly. But late at night, on niche forums and encrypted threads, people still watch the gas station footage. Analyze the mirror reflection. Freeze frame the man in the car. Praying to identify him before he decides to collect what's his again. But she's not the same girl anymore. They tried to erase her. She survived.